My beloved soul, listen carefully. God's final decree has been released over your life, and your divine soulmate is entering your reality now, not in imagination, not in distant hope, but in living, breathing manifestation. My beloved soul, before another word is spoken, receive this as a sacred instruction. Type, "I receive this," in the comments as a declaration before heaven. Like this video as an act of alignment with what God is doing. Subscribe to this channel as a sign that you are committed to hearing what the Spirit is speaking in this hour. Click the bell so you do not miss divine confirmations. And send a super thanks as a prophetic act of faith, not because of man, but as a seed before God who sees your obedience in secret. Listen carefully, you were not scrolling by accident, you were not randomly searching, you were led here on purpose. Heaven is watching, and God has not forgotten you. This is not a coincidence, this is confirmation. The decree has gone forth, and when God issues a final decree, no delay, no past mistake, no human interference can reverse it. Hear this: what you prayed for in tears, what you surrendered in silence, what you released with trembling hands, has reached the throne. Psalm 37 verse 4 says, "Delight yourself also in the Lord, and he shall give you the desires of your heart." That desire you buried because it hurt too much to hold, God has preserved it. My beloved soul, do not skip this moment, because what is being spoken now is tied to the very prayers you whispered when no one else heard. There was a season when you felt hidden, when you wondered if your longing for true covenant love was foolish, when you questioned whether your standards were too high, whether your faith was unrealistic. But heaven recorded every tear. Psalm 56 verse 8 declares that God collects your tears in his bottle. Do you understand what that means, my beloved soul? It means your pain was not wasted, your waiting was not ignored, your loneliness was not unseen. The silence you endured was preparation. The closed doors were protection. The disappointments were divine redirections. God was separating you from what would have destroyed your peace, because your soulmate is not a lesson, they are a promise. Stay with me till the end, something powerful is waiting for you. There were nights you lay awake, asking God why others seemed to receive what you had prayed for, why relationships formed around you while you remained alone. You smiled publicly but questioned privately. Yet Ecclesiastes 3 verse 11 says, "He has made everything beautiful in its time." Not your time, not their time, but his time. And his timing is never cruel, it is precise. My beloved soul, God was not withholding love from you, he was refining you for the love that would not break you. He was healing your patterns, exposing your wounds, teaching you discernment. You thought you were just surviving, but you were transforming. You thought you were being rejected, but you were being reserved. Listen carefully, the final decree means the season of preparation is closing. The season of manifestation is opening. This is the shift you have felt in your spirit. That restlessness is not anxiety, it is anticipation. That inner stirring is not confusion, it is alignment. Heaven is moving pieces you cannot see. God has not forgotten you. Isaiah 60 verse 22 says, "When the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen." Not you forcing it, not you chasing it, but God establishing it. My beloved soul, remain with me, do not leave yet, heaven has more to reveal. Your divine soulmate is not entering by accident, they are entering by assignment. They have been through their own wilderness, their own breaking, their own refining fire. Just as God was working on you, he was shaping them. Just as you cried for clarity, they were praying for direction. Just as you asked for confirmation, they were asking for courage. You were being prepared separately for a sacred convergence. This is not fantasy, this is prophecy. The decree has gone forth because both vessels are ready. Not perfect, but ready. Not flawless, but surrendered. You asked God for a love that honors Him, and He took that request seriously. That is why He dismantled connections that looked promising but lacked peace. That is why He removed people who were attracted to your light but not committed to your purpose. My beloved soul, hear this clearly: delay is not denial. Every no you received protected the yes that is now approaching. Romans 8 verse 28 promises that all things work together for good to those who love God and are called according to His purpose. You are called. You are chosen. You are not overlooked. Stay anchored in this message, because the next revelation is for you. You have felt a closing chapter recently. Old emotions resurfacing, memories replaying, a sense of finality in areas you once held on to. That is not regression, that is release. God cannot pour new wine into old wineskins. He is clearing internal space. He is removing the residue of past heartbreak. He is restoring your ability to trust without fear. My beloved soul, if you remain till the end, the final word will change everything. The final decree means heaven has evaluated the season, and it is complete. Your waiting was not passive, it was powerful. In the waiting, you learned to seek God first. In the waiting, you discovered your worth. In the waiting, you realized that you would rather be alone with peace than connected without purpose. That maturity is what qualifies you now. Proverbs 18 verse 22 says, "He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord." This union is not just companionship, it is favor. It is alignment. It is divine endorsement. And because it is God-ordained, it will not require you to shrink, chase, or compromise your convictions. My beloved soul, do not scroll away from this sacred moment. The one entering your reality will recognize your value. They will not be intimidated by your growth, they will celebrate it. They will not silence your faith, they will strengthen it. This connection will feel different, not chaotic but calm, not rushed but intentional, not dramatic but deeply secure. You have known counterfeit intensity, now you will know authentic peace. Philippians 4 verse 7 speaks of the peace of God that surpasses understanding. That peace will guard your heart in this union. You will not constantly question their loyalty. You will not beg for consistency. The decree ensures stability. Listen carefully, heaven is watching how you respond even now. Do you still doubt, or do you dare to believe? Do you still rehearse past pain, or do you embrace future promise? Faith activates what fear delays. My beloved soul, something is shifting even as you hear these words. The heaviness you carried about love is lifting. The narrative that said, "Maybe it is not for me," is breaking. God has not forgotten you. This is not a coincidence. You were led here on purpose. Jeremiah 29 verse 11 declares, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future." That future includes covenant. It includes partnership. It includes a love that reflects Christ's faithfulness. Stay with this message, because we are approaching the climax of what heaven has spoken. The final decree is not just about romance, it is about restoration. It is God restoring your belief in what is possible. It is Him redeeming the years you felt overlooked. Joel 2 verse 25 says, "I will restore to you the years that the locust has eaten." The years of wrong connections, the years of self-doubt, the years of silent tears, restoration is here. My beloved soul, do not rush this final revelation. The entry of your divine soulmate will not feel forced. It will feel orchestrated. Conversations will flow with unusual ease. Doors will open without manipulation. Timing will align without striving. You will look back and realize that every delay positioned you perfectly. And when fear tries to whisper, "What if this fails too?" you will remember this decree. You will remember that God Himself established it. Hear this clearly: what God joins together, let no one separate. This is not about fantasy, it is about fulfillment. Not about desperation, but destiny. As we come to this sacred closing, receive this prophetic declaration over your life. The season of wondering is ending. The season of manifestation is beginning. Your divine soulmate is entering your reality under God's authority. The prayers you thought were delayed are now being answered. The love you thought was distant is now approaching. Heaven is watching, and heaven is smiling. My beloved soul, rest in this truth. Walk in expectation. Prepare your heart with gratitude instead of fear. What you prayed for is very near. The final decree has been spoken, and it will not return void. Peace is covering you now. Hope is rising within you now. Divine fulfillment is unfolding around you now. Believe it, receive it, and stand in quiet confidence, because what God has promised, He is faithful to complete. My beloved soul, the Spirit is not finished speaking over you, because when God releases a final decree, it echoes until it manifests. Listen carefully, there is a sacred stillness forming around your life right now, a quiet rearranging of circumstances, a subtle alignment of divine appointments. You may not see the full picture yet, but heaven is moving with precision. The loneliness that once echoed loudly in your heart is growing faint, not because you have grown numb, but because you are being filled with expectancy. God has not forgotten you. This is not a coincidence. You were led here on purpose. Do not rush past this moment, because what is unfolding is delicate and holy. My beloved soul, remain present, for heaven is revealing another layer. You once asked God to remove anything that was not meant for you, and when He answered that prayer, it felt like loss. It felt like separation. It felt like endings you did not choose. But what felt like subtraction was divine filtration. The wrong voices had to fall silent so you could recognize the right one when it speaks. The wrong hands had to release you so the ordained hands could hold you without fear. Isaiah 43 verse 19 says, "Behold, I will do a new thing, now it shall spring forth, shall you not know it?" This new thing is not loud, it is steady. It is not chaotic, it is certain. Stay with me, my beloved soul, because what heaven is about to confirm will strengthen your faith. Your divine soulmate is not just entering your reality physically, they are entering your spiritual awareness first. You may feel drawn to grow deeper in prayer, more grounded in peace, more protective of your boundaries. That is not random. That is preparation for union. Amos 3 verse 3 asks, "Can two walk together unless they are agreed?" God is bringing agreement, not just attraction. He is aligning values, vision, and purpose. This connection will not pull you away from your calling, it will support it. It will not compete with your destiny, it will complement it. My beloved soul, do not leave this sacred encounter, for heaven is still speaking directly to you. There were moments you questioned whether you were too much, too emotional, too spiritual, too intense in your faith. But hear this clearly, you were never too much, you were simply too aligned for the wrong people. The one entering your life will not be overwhelmed by your depth, they will meet you there. They will not mock your prayers, they will join them. They will not resist your growth, they will honor it. Ephesians 3 verse 20 reminds us that God is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all we ask or think. What is coming is not a bare minimum love, it is a covenant shaped by grace. My beloved soul, if you continue listening, the final assurance will settle your heart completely. You are stepping into a season where love does not feel like a battlefield. It feels like refuge. It feels like safety after storms. The anxiety you once carried about relationships will dissolve in the presence of consistency. You will not analyze every text, question every silence, or brace yourself for sudden withdrawal. The decree of heaven has removed instability from this union. Proverbs 3 verse 5 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding." You may not understand how it will unfold, but you are called to trust the one orchestrating it. My beloved soul, heaven is watching your response even now. Are you preparing your heart with gratitude, or guarding it with fear? Gratitude attracts peace. Fear attracts resistance. Choose expectation. Choose faith. Choose to believe that what God promised, He will deliver. The waiting season refined you so that you would not sabotage what is sent. You have learned to communicate. You have learned to apologize. You have learned to walk away from dishonor. That wisdom is your crown. And the one entering your reality will recognize that crown and cherish it. Do not skip this final movement of the Spirit. The final decree also carries healing for your memory. Old heartbreaks will lose their sting. You will remember without trembling. You will speak of past pain without reopening wounds. That is restoration. That is God closing chapters gently but firmly. 2 Corinthians 5 verse 17 declares, "If anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. Old things have passed away, behold all things have become new." This love is part of your newness. It is not a recycled pattern. It is not a repeated mistake. It is a redeemed promise. My beloved soul, as this message continues, feel the peace settling deeper within you. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not disqualified. The timing is divine. The alignment is sacred. The decree is final. Heaven has spoken over your life, and heaven does not retract what it ordains. Soon you will notice subtle confirmations, shared interests, unexpected meetings, conversations that feel familiar in the best way. You will sense recognition, as though your spirits have known each other before the introduction. That is because God often prepares hearts long before He introduces names. Remain sensitive. Remain prayerful. Remain humble. My beloved soul, the final assurance is this: you will not have to chase what is ordained. What is meant for you will approach you with clarity and courage. They will not hide their intentions. They will not leave you guessing. Their presence will bring rest, not confusion. And as you step into this new chapter, remember to honor God at the center. Matthew 6 verse 33 says, "Seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things shall be added to you." This union is an addition, not a distraction. It is a blessing, not a burden. So lift your head, beloved soul. Release the residue of doubt. Open your heart with wisdom and peace. God's final decree stands over your life. Your divine soulmate is entering your reality under heaven's authority. What you prayed for is closer than you think. What you hoped for is forming even now. Walk forward in quiet confidence. The promise is alive. The manifestation is near. And peace, lasting and holy peace, will guard your heart as it unfolds. My beloved soul, as you remain in this sacred atmosphere, understand that what is happening now is not random movement, it is divine orchestration. There are conversations being prepared that will unlock recognition. There are paths crossing that have been scheduled in heaven long before this day. Listen carefully, God does not rush covenant, He establishes it. The decree over your life is not emotional impulse, it is eternal intention. The same God who formed you in your mother's womb has formed this union in His wisdom. Jeremiah 1 verse 5 reminds us that before you were formed, you were known. If you were known before you were born, do you not understand that your love story was also known? Heaven is watching, and heaven is aligning. My beloved soul, do not drift away from this moment, because another layer of revelation is unfolding. The enemy tried to convince you that your longing for divine love was weakness, that your desire for a godly partner was unrealistic in this generation. But your longing was placed there by God Himself. Psalm 84 verse 11 says, "No good thing will He withhold from those who walk uprightly." You have chosen integrity when compromise was easier. You have chosen prayer when distraction was louder. You have chosen to wait when settling was available. That obedience has weight in the Spirit. That obedience has moved heaven. Stay with me, my beloved soul, because what is being spoken now will settle your spirit. The one entering your reality is not intimidated by your faith journey. They have walked through their own valleys. They have faced their own refinement. They have cried out to God in their own midnight hours. Just as you were being strengthened, they were being purified. Just as you were surrendering pride, they were learning humility. This is divine symmetry. Ecclesiastes 4 verse 9 declares that two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their labor. This union is not for display, it is for destiny. It is not to impress others, it is to fulfill purpose. My beloved soul, if you remain attentive, the next truth will anchor you deeply. You have feared before that love would distract you from your calling, but this love will amplify it. The right partner does not compete with your purpose, they protect it. They pray over it. They speak life into it. You will not feel torn between devotion and relationship, you will feel unified in both. That is the evidence of God's hand. Do not skip this sacred word, because heaven is sealing something in your heart right now. The final decree also carries acceleration. What felt stagnant will begin to move. What felt delayed will suddenly gain clarity. You may meet them in an unexpected setting, through a connection you did not plan, at a time you least anticipated. That is how God works. Isaiah 55 verse 8 reminds us that His thoughts are not our thoughts, nor His ways our ways. My beloved soul, trust His method even if you cannot trace it. The anxiety that once gripped you about being alone will fade into assurance. You will notice a confidence rising within you, a quiet knowing that you are no longer in a season of loss but in a season of arrival. This is not arrogance, it is alignment. It is your spirit responding to heaven's decree. God has not forgotten you. This is not a coincidence. You were led here on purpose. Stay anchored in this revelation, because we are approaching another emotional peak. The final decree means the warfare around your heart is ending. The cycles of almost are breaking. No more near connections that dissolve. No more promising beginnings that collapse without reason. The instability is being removed. 1 Corinthians 14 verse 33 says that God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. If confusion defined your past experiences, know that they were not God's final design. Peace will define what is coming. My beloved soul, breathe in that truth. You will recognize this person not by fireworks alone, but by fruit. By consistency. By character. By the way they honor their word. By the way they treat others. By the way they guard your heart as if it is sacred. Love will not feel like guessing, it will feel like grounding. And as this unfolds, do not forget the one who ordained it. Keep God at the center. Pray together. Seek wisdom together. Allow the foundation to be Christ, not emotion. Matthew 7 verse 24 speaks of building on the rock, so that when storms come, the house stands firm. This union will be built on the rock. My beloved soul, do not leave yet, for heaven has one more deep reassurance for you. The years you thought were wasted were actually forming your discernment. You can now see red flags clearly. You can now sense dishonor quickly. You can now value peace above passion. That transformation was necessary. God was not delaying you, He was developing you. And now development meets destiny. The entry of your divine soulmate will not erase your individuality, it will enhance it. You will still pursue your dreams. You will still cultivate your gifts. But you will no longer feel alone in your vision. There will be someone standing beside you, speaking faith when you feel weary, reminding you of God's promises when doubt whispers. That is covenant strength. My beloved soul, as this message nears its continuation, let this final wave of truth wash over you. The decree has gone forth. Heaven has authorized this chapter. Your heart has been healed enough to receive it. Your mind has matured enough to sustain it. Your spirit has aligned enough to recognize it. Walk forward without desperation. Walk forward without fear. Walk forward with expectation. The love you have prayed for is not distant, it is drawing near. And when it arrives fully into your reality, you will look back at this moment and realize that heaven was speaking long before you saw the evidence. Remain faithful. Remain grateful. Remain surrendered. What God has spoken over your life shall stand. Your divine soulmate is entering your reality under the authority of God's final decree, and nothing can overturn what heaven has established. Peace is covering you. Hope is strengthening you. And divine love, ordained and protected, is closer than you have ever imagined. My beloved soul, as this sacred word reaches its closing, feel the nearness of what has been spoken. This is not distant prophecy, it is present movement. Even now, while you are listening, heaven is aligning details that you cannot see. There are prayers being answered in real time. There are steps being ordered according to Psalm 37 verse 23, which says the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. Your steps are being ordered. Their steps are being ordered. And when those steps meet, it will not feel accidental, it will feel authored. Listen carefully, you will sense a calm certainty rise within you when this connection appears. Not panic. Not pressure. Not fear of losing it. But peace. Deep, steady peace. That peace will be your confirmation. Heaven is watching how you prepare your heart in this final stretch. Release bitterness fully. Release comparison completely. Release the timeline you try to control. God's timing is not late, it is exact. You are not behind. You are on schedule in the Spirit. My beloved soul, this was never about you chasing love, it was about you becoming ready to steward it. And now, readiness has met decree. The final word over your life concerning this promise is not delay, it is fulfillment. What you prayed for in secret is about to appear in reality. What you surrendered in tears is about to return with joy. Psalm 126 verse 5 declares that those who sow in tears shall reap in joy. Your reaping season is unfolding. Hear this and let it settle deep within you. You will not miss what God has ordained. You will not overlook it. You will not sabotage it. Grace will guide you. Wisdom will guard you. Peace will confirm you. And when your divine soulmate fully enters your reality, you will recognize that this was worth every wait, every prayer, every refining season. So stand in faith now. Stand in quiet expectation. Stand without fear. God's final decree has been released. Your divine soulmate is entering your reality under heaven's authority. What you have longed for is very near. Rest your heart. Lift your head. Trust completely. The promise is alive, the alignment is active, and divine love is on its way to you. Type Amen.